You are now listening to Nostalgia Untitled.
Come hang out with us as we travel back in time.
You know your history.
To the 90s and 2000s. The memories.
I'm True.
And I'm AJ.
Stick around while we talk about some of our old school favorite classics.
Now let's get nostalgic up in here.
Que lo que, my little goblins and ghouls. AJ and True here. You like what I did there? You like what I did there?
I like you did that.
I'm so excited about that. That's what we all fucking week, huh? I do. What it do? We're here with a little special Halloween episode. So obviously that's why I gave that introduction. But before we get into it, AJ, tell me, how has your week been?
My week has been pretty great. I got to do a lot with my job. I told you last week that I had like a job event, and we did like a cool dinner cooked by Chef Benito, who was on an HBO show.
Oh, nice.
Which is really dope. Yep, he was like a finalist, I think, too. And shout out to him. He made like a beautiful dinner, and so we got to eat that and like have a work meeting. And then on Saturday, we went on a food crawl in DTLA, which is really dope. So we got to eat at some really cool restaurants in downtown LA, and then we went to the last bookstore as well, which is really dope. Which is like this bookstore.
Is that like a popular thing?
Books. Yeah, it's like an influencer thing. So like you go there, it's really cool. It has like a bunch of books, a bunch of records. I got 2 records. I got a cool like Bette Midler record that she did live.
What you get records for? You ain't got no record player. Stop playing.
Yes, I do. Adrian bought me a record player. Adrian bought me a record player for Christmas. And I literally have a lot of records. I have like Mariah Carey. I have Motown. I have Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I have a lot. I have Billie Holiday now. Yeah, I like old music, so I prefer to listen to it on like vinyl.
Cause you old head, huh? Cause you old as hell, huh?
Yeah, don't be mad because you can't even fit a vinyl player in your fucking for
right now. Hey, give me a couple months. Baby, that globe gonna be real big. Gonna be real nice.
But in general, after that on Sunday, we then had like a little like what did we do on Sunday? Like a group activity that we were able to do. No, not a group activity. We got start over. You messed me up on Sunday.
Of course you'd blame me.
On Sunday we got to talk to like people from like JPL and NASA. We had like a little cool little event. And I got to host like the trivia part, which is really cool. I got to plug our podcast, which is really cool. So
I think that's amazing.
I did that. And so after that, I'm here. And I had a week of like decompression, and now I'm here talking to you. How's your week been? Besides sitting in your apartment with a bunch of cats.
First of all, I wish I had more than one cat, but Amara is a solo cat gal. She does not like friends. My week's been pretty good. I hit a new PR on deadlift, finally broke the 200 mark, and I can deadlift 205 pounds. 4 months I've been in my head about it. It got to the point where every time I tried to deadlift when I wasn't with my gym bro, I couldn't hit my regular PR of 185. And he's just like, bro, like, what's wrong with you? Like, you can hit this. Like, you've done it plenty of times before. And slowly I've been working on like hitting my 185 without him, and then finally breaking that and hitting 205 without him, without straps. Phenomenal feeling. Like, we really are our own worst enemies. So we just be getting in our own way. But it's fine. I persevered. Overcame that. My friend from California came to visit, and I got all of them to watch the One Piece live action. And I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, but there's nothing more satisfying than having your non-anime friends be like, hey, are we gonna continue watching that show? Like, granted, I know it's the live action, but it's still One Piece. Okay, it's still One Piece. And to have them be like, I've really been thinking about that show. I've really been thinking about Luffy. Like, that is my heart is constricting right now.
Is it like when I got you to watch season 8 of Drag Race and you watched the entire thing? You watched the entire thing.
But I've watched Drag Race before. I've never not enjoyed Drag Race. I've literally gone to bars to watch like the finales with my other friends. That's different because I genuinely do like Drag Race.
You're a hater.
First of all, how dare you? But it's different when you have people who do not watch anything to do with anime, and sometimes they're just like, I don't really want to watch this. But once I played the live action, they were just like, yeah, let's keep watching that thing. It feels great. It was phenomenal. So overall, good week. A little tired, but hey, good week. I broke a new PR. Like, let's be so for real.
Let's go. Do you do bench? You don't do bench.
I do bench. My max on bench is 125.
Let's go.
But that one I don't do it as much because bench, I mean, if I'm on the Smith machine, that's a life hack. I like to hit that by myself, but when I'm with my gym bro, I go much harder because obviously I'm not on the Smith machine when I'm benching with someone because then I have a spotter.
I don't really, I'm bad at math, so I don't ever count when I'm in the gym, but I can do, what's 45? 45 times 4 is 180 plus 45. I could do like 185, 200 on the bench. Yeah.
Damn.
I've been getting
Good
strong.
for you.
I told you.
My gym bro.
That creatine is working.
He's working to hit like 400. He can do like, what is it? 350, 385 right now on bench. He's a fucking monster. He's a fucking monster.
Well, before we get into our topic, I know everyone listening, this is our special edition, Halloween edition of
Spooky
Nostalgia
season.
Untitled. Spooky season.
No. Spoopy. Spoopy season.
Spoopy?
Yeah, spoopy.
All right. But this is a special edition Halloween episode. And what was your first ever Halloween costume?
I was my dad.
You were your dad.
I was my dad. Yeah, he used to work.
Was that like a decision of your own, or was that like a?
Listen, when I tell you I am such a dad's girl, like I was obsessed with my father. Like I've told you before, I used to get into fights when people would say my mom gave birth to me. Halloween, yeah, I'm gonna dress up as I just dressed up as my dad for like, what, 4 or 5 years in a row until I discovered Harry Potter, and then I started dressing like Harry Potter for Halloween.
That's crazy.
I used to stuff.
I've never thought about it.
Bro, I used to stuff like a pillow underneath one of his mechanic work shirts, and used to draw like my dad used to have like the mustache and I used to dress up as my fucking father.
That's hilarious. I was like, do you have pictures?
What was that?
Do you have pictures?
I think my sister has pictures in like the photo albums back home.
You should try to get that picture. We should try to both get our pictures. So my first
just
costume
to
I was Simba from The Lion King. I remember that. That was the first ever costume.
You really do be obsessed with The Lion King, though. I feel like every time we talk about like nostalgia, you stay bringing up The Lion King.
The Lion King is one of the best movies ever created.
It's good. Yeah. It's good.
It's literally Hamlet. It's literally Hamlet, but it's so good. Like, it's
I like The Lion King. I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, oh, you know what movie I should watch? The Lion King.
Well, it's not. I think it's just significantly a little bit different culturally. You know what I mean? So, like, it's primarily an African movie. I'm an African American kid, and so.
I mean, listen, that's Aladdin. Aladdin is my movie. Like, you're just like, hey, let's watch Aladdin. Absolutely, let's go watch Aladdin.
Yeah, my top 3 Disney movies are Aladdin, Alice in Wonderland, and Lion King. So those are like my top 3. I don't count Pixar yet because like Pixar was like a whole different thing. So like I'm talking about like Walt Disney cartoons. That's what we're talking about. But we're talking about Disney. Do you want to get into the topic at hand?
Listen, so we're gonna talk about the Halloweentown franchise because honestly, when I think back on like Halloween traditions, I would watch Halloweentown every year. Halloween Town?
Listen,
Come on.
I watched the premiere of Halloweentown. I remember I was a kid and they were advertising it for like weeks. They were like, it's coming out. This movie's coming out, and I was like, I have to watch this movie because I was obsessed with like magic and witches and wizards and stuff. And so I was like, oh, I gotta see this movie because it's kids going to Halloweentown, and Halloween has always been my favorite holiday of all time. And so like for me, like, I was just like, oh, I'm so excited.
Now, for those of you who need a refresher or who've never seen Halloweentown, I'm just going to give you a quick little synopsis. You know what I'm saying? Halloweentown, it was created in 1998. It's a Disney Channel original movie. It was directed by Dwayne Dunham. And it's the first installment of the Halloween series. It's starring Debbie Reynolds, Kimberly J. Brown, Joey Zimmerman, and Judith Hogue. It is the fourth Disney original movie, which is a big deal when Disney Channel used to create like the original movies. It's centered on Marnie, who on her 13th birthday learns she's a witch, discovers a secret portal, and is transported to Halloweentown, a magical place where ghosts and ghouls, witches and werewolves live a part of the human world. But she soon finds herself battling a wicked warlock, evil curses, and an endless surprises.
And then we slide into Halloweentown 2, which was Calibur's Revenge. It's a Disney Channel original movie sequel where Marnie and her family must stop an evil warlock's son from turning the town's inhabitants into statues using a powerful spell book. With the help of magical creatures, Marnie masters her own powers and defeats the villain, saving Halloweentown. The film showcases the importance of family, friendship, and embracing one's abilities. And this came out following the year 2001.
We love trying to save Halloweentown because Halloweentown is a precious, safe space that we can never get rid of. Halloweentown, what is the one thing about that you were just like, ooh, this is it? Like this, what about it made you love it so much?
Everything. But if you're talking about specific things about Halloweentown, it was them teleporting to Halloweentown. That was interesting. Debbie Reynolds' character as like the grandma was so cool, and she reminded me of my own grandma, my dad's grandma, who was like so soft and sweet. Apparently she wasn't soft and sweet and like to everyone else, but she's really soft and sweet to me.
Whoa. Was this tea? Is this tea? Was she a bitch on set?
no, I'm talking about my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, I thought you were talking about Debbie Reynolds.
My grandma on my dad's side was really sweet and nice and kind to me as a kid, and she let me believe in anything that I wanted and let me have everything I wanted, and I felt like she drew me in, and then she had this purse that had everything in it. Oh, it was amazing. And then when they got to Halloweentown, it was just like them learning how to use magic was so cool. And the little sphere, like the little cell they had and shit. Like, I love that.
Yeah. I think what I really loved about Halloweentown, I'll be so fucking through with you. I loved that there was, growing up, I always felt like I was a little weird anyway. Like, I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. I always felt like I was the oddball. How dare you? I'm trying to have a vulnerable moment here. So, I feel like Halloweentown just made me feel like, oh, there is a place for all of us fucking weirdos, you know? So I think that's what I loved about it the most. And the aspect of magic, like as a kid, I always was obsessed with the idea of magical powers and just like being special, and the idea of anything is possible if you just believe kind of thing, kind of notion, just like, you know, which is what they preach about here. And which is
what kids should be wanting and only want in their whole entire lives, you know?
And the idea that, like, there were so many, like, different ghouls and ghosts and skeletons, but they were all just like, bro, we're chilling, we're cool, we ain't got no beef, you know? We ain't got no beef.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It's such a magical movie. And also, the acting wasn't half bad from what I remember. If I remember, the acting wasn't terrible. Like, I mean,
for a film that was made in 1998 where a bunch of kids were the main cast, 100%. Like, yeah, you're gonna have your cheesy lines. Like, there's some cheesy shit in there, but like also really cute moments. You know what I'm saying? Like when Grandma Cromwell and Mama Cromwell are in the kitchen and they're fighting, right? Mama Cromwell's like, bro, my daughter's not finna learn magic. She's gonna stay a human.
Which was
and
a
she's
boo.
like
This
packing
was a
up.
big old boo.
You know, right off the bat, I just want to know, in your opinion, what do you feel is so iconic about Halloweentown?
What I feel is so iconic about Halloweentown is like, I don't know, it's like the first time you watch Harry Potter, you know? It's like exciting because you get to go into like another world. And I think that's the way it was like advertised. It was advertised as like this magical world, like Halloweentown, where all the ghouls and goblins and witches and wizards all kind of end up. And they had like a sense of like happiness. I specifically like the soundtrack, the do 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 do. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little beats. I love that. And also, I was like the same age as like Marnie, or like the little brother. So it was like really cool to see kids.
I like that.
You know,
we
that's
like
the way
grew
Disney
up, you
works.
know what I'm saying? With basically with them too. You know.
Yeah.
When it
for sure.
Like for me, when you suggested, hey, let's do a Halloween episode, immediately I was like, oh, Halloweentown, because every year I watch Halloweentown. Like, there's no fucking way you can have a Halloween without watching Halloweentown. Like,
for sure.
and so like, it just made me happy because like, we always talk about, you know, what are the things that we remember as a kid and da 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 da. And I was like, I didn't even remember, but like every year you'd catch me watching Halloweentown as a child, you know? I mean, Disney.
Oh, so it looks like this podcast might be enlightening the inner child of True. Is that what you're saying?
Well, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? Halloween, I love Halloween. Like, I love Halloween, and there's just something about this film. Like, growing up, I really didn't feel like I fit in much, and I always felt like I was just put outside of everyone else, you know, just different in a not so good way.
Mm-hmm.
And this film had this whole world where it was just like, hey, this is where all the ghouls and goblins and all these kinds of creatures live together and are accepted and are happy. And I don't know, I just felt like, oh my goodness, this is such a cozy and safe space. I love this. So I just, it's hard not to.
I feel like I grew up very Halloween. It was like a lot of Halloween movies, a lot. Specifically, like me and my dad would like watch Nightmare Before Christmas a lot. Like, we knew every song. He still calls me and like sings the song sometimes. He's and whatever, but but like we were Halloween themed, like not Halloween themed, but like we were a Halloween family. So for us, like, we watched the scary movies, we watched the kids movies.
I love that.
And I think like Halloween's an exciting time. We would go trick-or-treating at the mall.
Yeah.
So like you see everyone's different costumes. So but imagine Halloweentown, the masks don't come off and they are people. And so like that's like really cool. It's like the one time a year that all the ghouls and goblins can come out and not feel like outcasts.
Yeah.
And not feel judged. And like that, you're right. Like, it kind of just gives us like the outcast story of like, you feel like outcast, you finally find where you belong. And that's cool.
And I think the aspect of like the magic, just the witches flying on brooms and casting spells, that's something that had always like, and what is it called? I loved it.
Yeah. And also the film starts off, you know, with Marnie and her mom. I think they're arguing about something. And so you already get that sense that like she wants to go somewhere else. She doesn't want to be where she is. And then the grandma comes to visit and it like changes everything. And she finally feels like someone gets her. Which is Debbie Reynolds. Which was also having Debbie Reynolds be your grandma.
Right, 100%.
Please.
And I think there's just something like, we all have like that safe person, right? Where if, you know, on your regular day-to-day stuff, you know, you're having a hard time, you're not really fitting in, but you know, you just have to hold out until you get to that one person, whether it be a family member or a best friend or something like that, that you know they accept you wholeheartedly. You don't really got to try with them. You could just exist and it's perfect. And that's what I love for Marnie when it came to her grandma, because it's just like, grandma a little weirdo, grandma a little out the box. She a little out the box, and we love it. We're here for it, you know? So it's just.
But she's not out the box where she's from. She's quite normal, and she was the most respected person in the town. One of the most respected person.
Right.
Besides
but
Caliber.
Compared to everyone in the human world, right? Because in the human world,
sure.
they look at her and she's like, your grandma's a little weird. But it's like, Marnie's like, yeah, but I'm also a little weird, so it's fine.
I also like, so after like the mom is arguing and the grandma comes, like, I love that they stole away.
Yes!
They kind of stole away. And so like, and they realize, the realization, let me go turn my air off. The realization of them realizing that the book that their grandma is giving them is where they're going, and they stole away, and they get out and they end up in this weird town, and the music plays. And then my favorite character is from the movie is the Bones dude.
Yes.
When he was like
the taxi driver.
Yeah, the taxi driver was my favorite character. I don't know, he was just so funny. It was just like they had little skits in between the movie. So like after they get the taxi to grandma's house, the grandma's like surprised and like tells them like they gotta go, but they could stay for a while.
Okay, wait, but can we talk about how like throughout the whole movie, right, everyone is so hyper fixated on the fact that Marnie's a witch, right? But the thing about Marnie isn't really exhibiting any powers. Whereas Sophie from the fucking jump was sitting up here bringing cookies to herself. She's like, oh, I just wished it to be the lock scene where they're trying to get into the grandma's yard. I just wished it for her to be a frog. And I'm like, are y'all fucking not seeing this? When she remembers the spell to turn the like lantern thing on, she's just whispering, singing. She's like, I like this, so I turned it into a song. I'm like, no, bitch, you turned it into a fucking spell. Like, you're chanting a spell.
Yeah, like.
And I'm like, and y'all really keep underestimating her, because Marnie's like, it's about me. I'm the Cromwell who's gonna help save the Halloweentown. And I'm like, you really gonna underestimate her? Like, she's not the one who's been carrying y'all powers when grandma's not around.
Yeah, it's a definite. So I guess the story for that is like Marnie wanted it so bad that she couldn't do it, or her mom had like told her not to do it for so long, she felt like she lost her powers.
She didn't know, right? And so
yeah, but you know, like, well, when she was there, you know, she was saying like, maybe I waited too long.
She doubted that she could do it because she had gone so long without ever knowing that it was a thing, which fucking sucks. Like, I understand wanting to protect your children, right? I see it. We see it today, right? With people who come to America, like Spanish-speaking families. I hear all the time, and I see stories all the time where they're like, "My parents didn't teach me Spanish. They wanted me to assimilate. They wanted me to learn the English language so that I don't get hurt, so that I'm not treated any different." And I understand, I respect it, but it's also like, it's sad because there's your roots. There's a whole part of you that you don't know, and you don't know how to even begin exploring it. Marnie didn't know how to even begin to be a witch because no one ever taught her, right? No one ever, they were just like, you're weird, whatever, don't even worry about it, you'll be fine. But she knew deep down that there was something missing from her life, and it just made me so sad for her.
I think there's a saying in general. There's a saying that says, not saying, but if you cut people off from their past, they tend to forget and assimilate. And so like, if Marnie would have waited long enough, she would have forgot about magic because she would have got older and she became an adult, and she would have never even thought about it again. And so this is like the same thing. The thing that you were describing is like, oh, if you wait long enough, they won't even care to learn Spanish anymore, or they won't even care about their history anymore.
And it's just
then you
sad.
just assimilate.
It's sad.
Yeah, a lot. That happens a lot. I mean, that's a colonization tactic, right? Is to make you forget about your past so that you can assimilate into society and not cause any problems.
Damn.
And so like, that happens a lot. That happened a lot in like, because random really fast, but I think it happened with Italians and Jewish people. Like, they weren't considered like white at first. They were considered like Italian and Jewish, or like a different type of race, but they weren't considered white. And then over time, they assimilated
Interesting.
into whiteness. And so like that's why you see like, oh, Italians are white, Jewish people are white. It's crazy. It's like a crazy thing. But we're going off topic. Some of the stuff for Halloweentown is like after they meet the grandma and they end up exploring the town and then doing crazy stuff. Like one of my favorite scenes is the beauty salon scene, and when they're trying to get like the fang from her to put in for the spell.
Yes,
they have to go around and collect the spell because the grandma got turned into a zombie or like a little ghost of a shell of a person
zombie
because
statue thing.
In the movie theater, that creepy ass movie theater. Yep, that creepy ass movie theater.
Right.
It was so creepy.
Okay, but why the fuck did she walk in there with Luke? He's like, "Oh, my master wants to see you."
She walked in
I'm
there.
Like, why the fuck would you walk in there? But it was creepy.
I think she just wanted to help. I think she just has the character has a naivete towards them, towards everything, and so she's just like, "I'll be able to help."
She knew
whatever.
She was gonna go. She knew she was gonna go and meet the master, but like, for me, red flags would have been flaring where he's like having to unlock shit, and like as soon as you walk into the theater, you see how creepy it is, and I'm like, bitch, you're not on your guard. You're not gonna pull out a wand. You're not gonna say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just immediately. The pins and needles, the tingling sensations.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was so creepy, and that thing used to scare me. I used to have nightmares about that, like that movie theater thing, and like me getting sucked up in there.
Yeah.
It was. I used to have fucking nightmares about that, which I don't mind. I don't mind a good nightmare sometimes.
Okay, what the fuck? You're not just gonna pass that like you didn't say what you just said. Who the fuck says that? Who the fuck?
I like the adrenaline rush of being. I like the adrenaline rush of being scared sometimes. So like for me, sometimes I like, or especially like when, for me, I can do this. I don't know. I think some people can't, but I can. Like if I wake up and I feel like I didn't complete the dream, I can like go back to sleep and go to the same dream.
Not just saying, like you hopping back into the nightmare, you sick fuck.
Yeah, I can go hop back in and like do what I want to do, and like I can have like lucid dreams. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm jealous.
Like, so.
But also, it's giving therapy. It's giving therapy. Why would you jump back into a nightmare? Anyway,
listen, you gotta go defeat because I want to win. You know what I mean? Anyway,
for me, one of the scenes that I loved was when she's picking out a broom. And the salesman was giving very much Elvis, but he was a great salesman. This is right before. Where I'm just like, go ahead, pitch that broom to me, sir. And how Luke comes in and he's trying to like be all flirty. This is right before they
turn to grandma, right?
Huh? Before they turn the grandma into a stone.
Yeah.
In number one. And yeah, and so like they show the scene where she's up flying and she's getting a taste of it, and you can see how happy she is, and I'm like, damn, that's just cute. That's just like nice, you know, just to see that shit. And then obviously she comes back down and mom is like, we're going home. And I'm like, bitch, you're such a buzzkill. You must be so fun at parties.
But, you know, they both turn into those ghost of shell people where like they can't move. And then after that, they have to go. The reason you mentioned Sophie had to go get the spell. And so, I mean, she understood the spell. So they had to go around and collect things. And that's my favorite part is like treasure hunter-y type of movies where they got to like collect stuff. You know, we talked about The Mummy 2 last week, and that's like my type of movie. I like, you gotta go do this to get to the mission. I like when they had to go get the sweat from a ghost. The sweat from the ghost was so funny because they put him in the little thing. Yeah. And he got out and he was skinny. That was so funny. And then when they pulled her tooth out in the beauty salon, that was crazy. What else? They had to get other things too, right?
All I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of like when they have everything and they're putting the spell together and they're pouring all the ingredients into the little like cauldron pot thing. Again, Marnie, what the fuck, bro? Like, because you see, they need Sophie's help, bro. And you know, Sophie just, you know, they realize that Sophie knows what she's doing, whatever. And she immediately goes, oh my God, I did it. Excuse me? You did it?
Because the lesson is the younger the witch, the easier their powers are. So that's the whole point of the mom waiting for Marnie to get older so
But
she
the
wouldn't
thing
have
was,
powers.
is that Marnie jumped to be like, oh my God, I did it. Like, you needed Sophie's help. Give credit where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due. Like,
and also the brother started off as kind of annoying, but then he like gets braver as he goes along. And then like, doesn't he also, I can't really remember, but he also gets powers too, right? Eventually. Like it happens.
So in 2, I mean, we'll get into 2 in a little bit. I think there is a scene where like he's convinced he's human, and I think he does end up having a little bit, but not really, not compared to Sophie and Marnie. Dylan, because Dylan from the jump is just like, I'm human, you guys are fucking weird, this is all a dream. And he stays in that that denial state for a long time.
He does.
He kind of pissed me off though, for real. Where I'm like, boy, I mean, I guess you always need one person to stay like the not the stick in the mud, but like the one who's stuck in the realism of it all, because you are stuck in this world.
Yeah, because
like,
I mean, Marnie and Sophie could have easily got distracted.
You need at least one. What?
They could have easily got distracted and not even completed the task, and like and like went on about their day. Like they could have easily did that. So, what other scenes do you remember from the first one?
From
like
other memorable
specifically
scenes.
About other characters that aren't the main characters. So there's a lot of side characters in this show. Like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned the taxi cab driver. I think his name is Steve. Yeah, Steve. And
you've got the broom salesman.
The broom salesman. You got the witch for the witch's bane, and then you got the sweat from the ghost.
You have the neighbor from grandma's neighbor, who's the sweet lady who's like, oh, I baked cookies for the shelter. No, she baked muffins. She baked muffins for the shelter, and she's super excited. She's like, oh, but I didn't realize. She's like, do you want one? She's like, I brought them there and didn't realize they didn't have their heads, because they were like the headless horsemen or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I lost. I was like, damn, y'all really out here making jokes like that? Like, it took me out. It took me out because, you see the sweet old lady, which I love that they did that, because grandma had been talking about the things that's been happening to the people in Halloweentown. And then you got to see it firsthand, where she was sweet, then she was grouchy. Right at the broom scene, when they're trying to buy the broomstick, they run into each other, and she's literally like a haggard, mean lady, until finally she sees her again in the theater, and she's a statue. She's a zombie statue thing. Confirming that grandma was not going crazy, and that she in fact knew that something was happening to the townspeople of Halloweentown.
Yeah, that's I think every character in this movie definitely has a transition, right? So the mom realizes that magic isn't that bad, and you can have both, because she has a lot of trauma, I guess, because their dad died, right? So she has a lot of trauma with that, and so she just wants them to be normal. We don't really they don't really go over why the dad died. But then the mom transitions over to like maybe accepting magic, and then Marnie is becoming a woman and becoming a witch in the same time. And then Dylan realizes that maybe I am magic, or maybe this is real. It's not a dream.
Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's like I don't need to keep pretending that it's not actually there, because the signs were there, and he continuously kept trying to disregard it, trying to just not have it be a thing. But someone I want to touch on briefly is the whole villain of this fucking movie.
Yeah.
The mayor of fucking Halloweentown. Damn. I was rooting for him too. Like, when you first meet him, he's so charismatic and he's so charming. Like, the riz on that man. Like, when mom went to the mayor's like hub, not knowing that she was gonna see him again after all these years, and he's just like, let me give you a dead rose, make it alive, and be like, you used to never have a problem with my magic. Like, boy.
Yeah, which is also symbolism, right? It's like, oh, that's what he wants to do with Halloweentown. He wants to make it better. quote unquote, but it's
Right.
not making it better, it's making it worse. And so like when he shows up, I feel like Caliber definitely is charming, but then that like we were talking about the transition for him was, oh, he's evil and he needs to be defeated because he's going to destroy everything that's magical about Halloweentown.
Yeah.
And that's magical about the real world.
Yeah. Which is crazy because it's just kind of like that whole thing of like, damn, the people that you're supposed to like rely on, right? The mayor of the town causing all of this to happen, and he's so loved, right? Where everybody only has positive things to say about him. So to see that switch, damn, you done got us. I felt betrayed when I first watched this as a kid. I certainly felt betrayed.
And then by the end of the film, you know, they go ahead and they get the spell and they put it in the pumpkin, and Caliber blows up into a million pieces.
Which is like, he blows up into a million pieces. They're happy, they're celebrating, whatever. But as we know, it doesn't end there. Like, his reign does not end, because we jump into Halloweentown 2. And from the jump, you see that something's not right? Because they're in the human world, and you see already bullshit happening. You see eerie shit happening with that face that shows up while they're talking, you know?
I think it was like one of the better follow-ups of a sequel for a Disney Channel movie. Sometimes they were bad, but I think this one was really good. I think the Caliber's Revenge,
this one definitely does a good job at yes, yeah, it definitely does. I love seeing that they're much older, a little bit more mature. Obviously, you have Dylan trying to hit on Marnie's friends. You see him at least being more social in the Halloween parties and things like that. Yeah, so in Halloweentown 2, you do see Dylan being more accepting of like all of the witchy woo-woo Halloween spirit stuff, which is kind of nice. Sophie is much older. Marnie is a little bit more mature. She's definitely feeling herself, because immediately you meet Cal, and we all know who Cal is. Yeah. But that opening scene with Cal and Marnie, I'm like, do y'all need a room? Because your mom is standing right there. But I shouldn't be too surprised, because mom was literally in that same headspace when she saw Cal's dad. Yep. I'm like, y'all a bunch of freaks. Y'all need.
They fell for the charmingness of both characters, and the similarities between the two characters. You don't even really get until you're like, oh. Yep. It's like it's a real good nugget, because like if you haven't seen the first one, you don't get the things, like you don't get the rose trick, you don't get like any of that stuff. And I think like, you know, Marnie's return back from Halloweentown, or was she in Halloweentown for a year and then she came back to the mortal world? Is that what that was? Or was
no,
it
I think she stayed. She hadn't gone back for a year.
For like a year. Yeah.
She was in the human world for a year, and then went back to Halloweentown. And going back to Halloweentown, that is when they realized, hey, something's wrong. Something's not right.
Because it was like turning black and white. And
turning black and white, and the monsters were turning into humans.
Yeah.
Luke, have Luke going, which is crazy, because at the start of the scene, you see Grandma look into the looking ball of like Halloweentown, and you have an image of Luke, and she's like, look, he's looking like such a great goblin these days, yada yada yada. And then when they're finally in Halloweentown, you see that he's actually human. His ears are gone, his nose is gone, his hair is not as curly and luscious. It's just
he just back the way he kind of tricked them in the first one.
Yep, and he's very much just like, do I know you? And she's just like, you should, like, hello? And he's trying to walk away, and they're like trying to figure out a way to get the spell books, or at least have a spell get told to them to reverse him back into who he was. But while that is happening, what were you going to say?
I was going to jump into like, what were some of your favorite moments from Halloweentown 2?
Definitely that first, okay, like I guess it goes back to, I might be a little toxic, that opening scene with Cal, because baby, if you look at me like that,
you love some initial love. You love that. You love some love at first sight shit.
I'm like, if
Like,
you look at me like that, we
you
not
love some-
gonna last.
You love some. You want to be a princess so bad.
Oh, bro, I swear. And I think it's just because the whole charmingness of it all, because another scene that I really loved was the ending when Cal
Spoiler.
is with, I know, when Cal is with Marnie. I'm all distracted by Cal. He's with Marnie, and he's just like, let's see, trying to be a big badass, like, let's see if evil is better than good. And he's just like, come and grab these spell books if you want them so bad. And I'm like, bitch, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite scenes from Halloweentown 2 has to be, or my favorite scene in general of any movie. I just love this scene, and I remember I used to watch it or like wait for it to come on TV, and if I missed it, I was so sad. Was when they go see Gort, and they like, oh, he's supposed to be like this mean guy or whatever, and they go see him, and he's just like trying to match socks. He's like the junk man. Like that's,
yeah.
And he's like, I can't find a match anywhere. And like, I thought that was so cute. It was like one of my favorite scenes. I love that scene. And then and then they end up, because in this movie they time travel a little bit, and so they're able to like go back and like see things, right?
Yeah.
So they travel
Hello?
back in time using like a magical time traveling bus. And they end up in the year where Caliber was still helpful and a citizen to Halloweentown, and they must like find a way and prevent his turn to the dark side. So like trying to change history.
Back when he was still a good noodle. Jeez.
He was still a good noodle.
I think one of my favorite things too is it and I don't know if it's just because we live in a state of like denial, but like obviously this is a Disney movie, so everything's gonna end happy, right? The good guys are gonna win. But at the end, because I think I had said this earlier, like the monsters were getting turned to humans, the humans were getting turned into monsters. So they're not able to like remove their masks. They're not able to like get out of the costumes that they're in. At the end, when everyone is finally able to remove their face masks, the fang teeth, all of that, and you have the announcer at a party who's like, oh, he's relieved, and he's just like, well, we can, go on record to say that this is one of the best Halloween parties that there ever had been. And I'm just like, you just gonna disregard what just happened?
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh, like, we're so excited, we're gonna party and celebrate, even though I just had the most traumatic thing that has ever happened to you. Okay.
I think in the second one, at the ending, like between Marnie and Cal, like that big like fight scene, that Voldemort and Harry Potter fight scene, like where they're like fighting back power. I think like Marnie's transformation was definitely like crucial for the moment, right? Marnie taps into like her own abilities, and it transforms her into like a real like badass witch, or like a powerful witch, right? And so the transformation showcases like her growth and like her determination to save, and like her love for Halloweentown,
to just prove that the Cromwell witches are so strong, right? Because from movie number 1, that's what it is. Like the Cromwell witches in all of history are the most powerful witches to have ever graced Halloweentown. So to see her have that just goes to prove like she just needs a little bit of time, she just needs a little bit of practice, but you can't fuck with her, you know what I'm saying? And ending it in the way of like opening that door so that the humans and the monsters from Halloweentown could just like live together.
Yeah.
Is great, because obviously that opens the door for the third film, which we won't talk about, but
Yeah.
it's like them versus us, and then now it's like a us together kind of thing,
Yeah. I also like that they show the conflict between the families. The family, but the moral of this movie is like they're better together than they are apart.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
And so throughout the film, Marty and her siblings like face those types of challenges and conflicts, but they ultimately like come together as a family to defeat the villain and to save their beloved Halloweentown. And like I think that's the moral of the story for both movies, right? It's like the love of
love beats all. Love.
Yeah. and good is always better than evil. And so it like just always show you to be a good person because it's always better. It's a good lesson for like little kids and like little kids growing up, you know. I think 100%. Some of us like lost that lesson, but I think it's a good lesson. Just be a good person, believe in yourself, believe in the things that you want, and you will get them. That's a great story. I think Marnie's story in general is great.
But I think that's what makes it so nostalgic, and that's why, like, being as old as we are now, we're just like, now we're gonna make time, we're gonna watch these films, we're gonna go ahead and pop it, you know, get cozy, get your blankies, go blankie mode, and grab the snackies and just put on Halloweentown. You know what I'm saying? Just like as an honorable mention, Disney Channel Halloweentown movies, Twitches, the Twin Witches, a good one. You know, you just gotta get the marathon going. Halloweentown,
mine was
Twitches.
What's that one where I'm a boogie person? What's that one? With like what's under the bed?
Oh, I never liked those.
What? Are you too scary?
Yeah, that scared me. No, I'm a baby. I don't like that.
What? Oh, that was like one of my faves, like growing up.
Don't look under the bed or something like that.
Yeah, don't look under the bed, because like it was about like, now we're getting into like this the Halloween theme. So it was more like that movie was about like imaginary friend and what happens to your imaginary friend when you stop believing in them. They turn into monsters under your bed. And so like, that's
terrifying, bro. I used to sleep with a nightlight. I couldn't watch that shit.
You're such a
Freddy
baby.
Krueger terrified me. Freddy, I used to run like trick-or-treating with my family and friends whenever in my grown teenage years, bro. I'm talking high school. I would see a Freddy Krueger and I would cross the street and the motherfucker would chase me because he knew. Freddy Krueger terrified me.
Growing up, for me, like my mom used to let me watch, and like I was watching the Freddy movies. I was watching the Jason movies. I was watching Interview with a Vampire when I was like little. I was watching Carrie. I was watching all those movies. So I seen all of those when I was like little. So nothing really scares me as far as like those movies.
And I guess in the sense of like what you had said earlier, where like you like the thrill. I am terrified of haunted houses, but it's also like it's Halloween. Like you got to go to a haunted house.
Yeah,
you got to go to a haunted house
or a pumpkin patch. You know what I'm talking?
Oh like, yes, a pumpkin patch.
Or like no, I'm talking about like the scary pumpkin patches. Like where I'm from, we had like scary pumpkin patches. So like cornfields. So like a cornfield maze and it's scary. Like you go into the cornfield maze, huh?
It was like a themed night of like spoopy stuff, right? Like it's a Halloween night. You have the pumpkin patch, you get the train ride, and then like there are certain parts of it where there are like things that chase you and things like that. And I went with my friends, my friend Grandpa, my friend Lewis, one year, and I never ran so fast in my life because a man was chasing me. It came out of nowhere.
All right, true. So I feel like we kind of dived into Halloweentown 1 and then did a little bit of Halloweentown 2. Halloweentown 1 I think is more iconic just because it like sets everything up, and then Halloweentown 2 definitely
for sure
reinforced that. It was like the best sequel, and I think every kid was anticipating that second one. I think we should just go on a break and then come back, and then we got a quiz.
Dale, let's get into it.
All right, true. We're back. Are you ready for spine-tingling, hilarious, and spooky good times? Introducing the spine-chilling beverages that will leave you howling for more. Imagine yourself in a creepy castle surrounded by vampires, werewolves, and other creature friends, all enjoying the most hauntingly delicious libations. Introducing Dracula's Bloody Wine. With its deep crimson hue and rich, velvety flavor, it's sure to satisfy even the most discerning vampire's palate. The wine is a blend of blood-red grapes, carefully harvested under the moonlight and aged to perfection in ancient coffins with a slight taste of iron. And for those who prefer a more electrifying experience, we have Frankenstein's Martini, This concoction is a fusion of lightning-infused spirits mixed with a splash of eerie green elixir, guaranteed to give you a bolt of pure excitement. But wait, there's more. We have a whole lineup of monster-inspired wines and cocktails just waiting for you to join, from the Mummy Mojito to the Wicked Witch's Whiskey Sour. Our monstrous creatures will delight your taste buds and keep the party going all night long. Visit our website and the nearest store and get, of course, your Dracula's Bloody Wine, Frankenstein's Martinis, and all the other monstrous cocktails, and unleash the inner monster and let the good times begin. Back. And are you excited for the quiz? You're never excited for the quiz, but are you excited for the quiz?
I'm never excited for a quiz. I am never excited for a quiz.
All right, let's get into it. So, all right, let's get into it. So, question 1. Who plays the role of Marnie Piper in both Halloweentown 1 and 2? A. Sarah Paxton. P. A. Sarah Paxton. B. Kimberly J. Brown. C. Debbie Reynolds. D. Judith Hogue.
A. Sarah Paxton. Boo.
Kimberly J. Brown. She actually has a really big following on TikTok and like a resurgence. And like, I think she has a Patreon. Not what do you call those? When you can get somebody to like say stuff to you, like you pay them and they send you a video. Cameo. Yeah, she has like a cameo. She actually she's holding down Halloweentown. I hope they make like another one with her as like the mom. That would be great. I think that would be. Like her, like she literally has a YouTube channel about Halloween themed stuff. Like, and also she was kind of like one of the first like kind of queens of Disney. She had her other franchise, like other movies too, like where they had quintuplets, like that movie where they had like the babies and stuff.
No idea.
She's so dope. So, question 2. What is the name of Marnie's younger brother who initially struggles with his magical heritage? A. Ethan. B. Benny. C. Dylan. D. Max.
Dylan.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's square.
What is the name of Marnie's powerful witch grandmother? A. Aggie Cromwell. B. Gwen Piper. C. Gwen Cromwell. D. Grandma Piper.
A.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding.
In Halloweentown 2, what event are the citizens of Halloweentown preparing for? A. Halloweentown Festival. B. Halloweentown Parade. C. Halloweentown High. D. Halloweentown Ball.
Is this in Halloweentown 1?
It's in the second one.
I'm going to say the festival.
Halloweentown High.
High. Oh, boo.
In Halloweentown 2, what leads Marnie on a mission in Halloweentown? A. A mystery gift in her grandmother's attic. B. A magical book. C. A talking cat. D. A secret map.
I can't remember this. I'm going to say the gift. The secret.
Ding, ding, ding. You got that right.
Yes.
Who portrays Caliber in the main antagonist in both Halloweentown movies? You're not going to know this one. A. Joey Zimmerman. B. Robin Thomas. C. Daniel Kuntz. D. Philip Van Dyke.
Zimmerman.
Robin Thomas.
Fuck. Is Zimmerman Dylan? I think Zimmerman is the Dylan actor.
Yeah, I think so. What's the name of the spell that Marnie cast to save Halloweentown from the villain control in Halloweentown 1? A. Alakazam. B. Abracadabra. C. Gort. Pluto. Barda. Nikto. D. Hocus Pocus.
C.
Ding, ding, ding. You got that right. What's the name of Marnie's younger sister who plays what's the name of Marnie's younger sister who is also a witch and accompanies her on a magical adventure? A. Emily. B. Lily. C. Sophie. D. Grace.
Sophie.
Sphere. Yeah, Sophie. Yep. How do Marnie and the family ultimately defeat Calibur's... Question again. How do Marnie and her family ultimately defeat Calibur in Halloweentown 2? A. Using a magical potion. B. Using a talisman to drain... what am I talking about? A. Using a magical potion. B. Using a talisman to drain his powers and then trapping him in a magical vortex. C. Convincing him to change his evil ways. D. Exposing his plans to Halloweentown Council.
Is it B?
Yep.
The vortex?
Ding, ding, ding. So you got 8 out of 10. So that's not bad.
Nice.
You did pretty good. Did pretty good,
Nice. Nice.
Nice. All right.
Very, very
and
nice.
Before we go, one more game. I know you hate games, but one more game. All right. So because it's the spooky season and we got one more game, I'm going to name horror villains, right? True? And you have to decide which one you think you could beat or you think you could get away from, like running. All right.
Okay.
Freddy or Jason?
Who I could run away from?
Mm-hmm. Or you feel like you can get away easily and like...
Jason. Freddy gets you in your fucking sleep. That's what people don't understand. People be like, oh, Freddy ain't shit. Everybody needs sleep. Freddy can literally fucking wait you out and then fucking kill you. Like, there is no fucking running from Freddy.
And then, all right. So, Michael Myers or Jason? They're very similar.
Both.
So you can get away from both?
Michael Myers. I could get away from both of them.
You think so?
Yeah, fuck them bitches. I can get away from them.
All right. Emotep from The Mummy, right?
I know.
Or Dracula.
I can get away from Dracula.
You feel like you can get away from Dracula? I feel like I wouldn't want to get away from Dracula because I would want him to like turn me into a vampire.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are ways around it.
Yeah.
Emotep, he's a lost soul. He's lost.
Hold on. We're gonna do one more. I gotta make it good though.
Okay.
Oh, easy. Actually, we're gonna do 2, but the last one is the bonus. All right. So you're either gonna do Ghostface from the Scream franchise, right? Or Chucky.
Bitch. I can get away from Ghostface.
You can get away from Ghostface. You feel like Chucky would get you.
Chucky, he's a little squirrely. You know children.
I was like, every time I watch this movie, I was like, how is this doll so fucking strong? Like,
now Chucky, I loved Chucky growing up.
All right.
I used to have like a Chucky doll. Yeah, I was that girl.
All right, and then you got Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. You know, he eats people. You know, or Jigsaw, like in the Saw movies. Like you're tied up, you got to get out.
Fuck no. The cannibal. Jigsaw. If Jigsaw gets me, I'm fucking got. Jigsaw gets me, I'm got. Okay. Now, hopefully none of us ever end up in situations like that because you know there are some sick fucks out there. Which apparently that's a thing. You can pay someone to put you through excruciating bullshit.
Yep. Wild.
That.
I'm not paying.
Yikes! Yikes! No, absolutely not. Like literally, somebody paid with a bag of dog food once. It's because somebody people get a thrill from this. Like people get thrills from it, and there's people out there who are like, yeah, I want to do this, which is sick. But either way,
no, thank you, I'm full.
Every Halloween season, every spoopy season, you gotta watch the Disney Channel original movies. You just gotta get into it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you do go out this year, just be safe. We know there's a lot of weird energies out there, a lot of weird things happening this year, but be safe, have fun, and watch some Nostalgia Untitled. Listen to some Nostalgia Untitled, you know?
Yeah, thank you for listening to our Halloween edition of Nostalgia Untitled. And see you guys on the flip side. Like, subscribe, do all the things. And see you guys. Bye.
Bye.